Can you beat Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree by only jumping? No, Tommy, what do you mean by only jumping? Haven't people done this before? No! When I say only jumping, I do not simply mean by only dealing damage through the jump button, like some armor sets can do. No! What I mean is, quite literally, the only damage that you can inflict on anything is your fall damage. So yes, in case you do not know, when you fall from a certain height, you inflict damage on anything. This also includes bosses. Meaning, technically, if you manage to get enough height, you could kill some bosses. Now, in a previous video, I tried to see if we could beat the base game Elden Ring by only jumping. And it turned out that, yes, technically you can if you do major glitches. But, in the end, you could only kill a few bosses by only jumping. So I thought, why don't we just jump into the DLC and, see if it's possible to at least beat the DLC by only jumping. So anyways, let's get right into it. Now, just to clear something up, in today's video, we are not trying to actually beat the game ourselves. We are just trying to see if it is possible. And if it is, then maybe in some world I will try and beat this. But as we can see from the damage from your fall, yeah, that's not a lot of damage. So first things first, we gotta make it an appropriate character for today's video. And there's no name greater fit for this than Mario.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have an Elden steed for you.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, I need that Elden steed. Let's get going. Hey, the castle's just up there. We better be quick. Okay, I think we are at the end of this castle. Peach, where are you? Bowser! What are you doing here? Mario, I have stolen Peach. There was no Elden steed. What? No! I'm gonna kill you, Bowser! Well, unlucky for you, I'm gonna be at the end of the DLC. What? No, we gotta go to the end of the DLC and save Peach. So now that the most important part of this video is over, let's just see if we can actually do damage to the first boss. Now some of you may be thinking, well, Sir Mario, how are you even gonna get to the DLC? You have to get to Mogwin Palace and then you have to actually beat Moog. Well, look, just don't worry about it, okay? Now, after quickly sitting down for a little nap, when Mario wakes up, he takes a little jog up to a man's finger, and he decides to give it a little sniff. Without knowing what he's doing, he actually ended up in the realm where his princess was brought to, and with his eyes looking upon the great keep in the distance, Mario knew this is where he had to go. And after a very long run, this man has now reached his first legacy dungeon. It seems like I lost the footage for that legacy dungeon. Wait, footage? As in, what? Wait, why is my foot on screen? Ah! Hello, dear viewer. Yes, I am talking to you. Do you want to see my feet on stream? Because if you do, then make sure to join the Discord. It'll be the top comment. And I'm going to be trying to beat Elden Ring and Silksong with only my feet. Now, if that doesn't get you excited, I do not know what will. So make sure to turn on notifications and join the Discord so you'll know when to see my feet. Just, please don't put it on Feet Finder. I already have an account. Yes, this must be a very large Goomba. Now, we don't actually have to beat this guy or anything, but this kind of shows how this mechanic works. So, from what I can tell, how the actual damage works and how it, how the game knows when to proc the damage is really just how long the player is in the air and like that jump animation. So like as we can see here, if we get kind of stuck on the model, we can end up actually doing damage to this guy. But like I said, we don't actually have to do him. So anyways, we just magically appeared up here. Pretty sure we took like a pipe or something, but yeah, we're not doing that entire legacy dungeon. So, while we open up that gate, we come to our first challenge, which is the Divine Beast Dancing Line. Now, this is quite a big man. Also, do not question Mario's immortality. He just has really good iframes, okay. So, how do we actually deal damage to a boss? Because just jumping next to him does not actually do damage. We can see his health bar, there are no numbers there, there's nothing happening. So, what do we actually do to do damage to this dude? Well, I don't know if it works or not, that's why I'm testing it right here. But there's a small little staircase here, as you can see, which means that we can gain some height. Now, he did just break that off. I didn't even know he could do that. But what we are trying to do is we are trying to get height. We are trying to get height and then jump on him. Maybe get, like, staggered somehow in his character model to try and do some damage to him. So it seems like he keeps breaking off the sides of this staircase, which I had no idea he could do. By the way, this is like my first time ever testing this. So it seems like the only height that we'll be able to get is from leading him down below to the bottom of the staircase, and then somehow jumping onto it from the top of the staircase. Is that enough height to do it? I don't know. Still nothing. I feel like we are right on the verge of getting it to proc, though. Right there. Nope. Okay, stay down there, please. Nothing. And still nothing. Well, that is so far not a very good sign. Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, did you see that? That was 2 damage. So it seems like if we lead him down to the bottom of this staircase, doing running jump, and then land on the second dude in this dancing line, because, by the way, it's just 2 dudes. If we land on that back part right there, then we can do a little bit of damage. So, ladies and gentlemen, that means that the first boss is possible. So, we totally just killed him. Yes. So with that done, we can now move on to the second boss, which, in the DLC, since this is a lot smaller, it's actually just right up the road. However, we don't actually have to do that. So, let's just say we ran through this entire Legacy Dungeon, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure all the Legacy Dungeons in this game, you can just run through it. There are no bosses that you have to beat to get through it, unless, other than the final boss. So let's say you did that. You get into this room, and then, well, there's really not much to work with here, now is there? Other than, like, one throne, which is breakable. So, like, I don't think that's technically possible. And yeah, literally everything else in this room is breakable. Okay, she's really just wacky. So, some people might think, well, this is just the end of the run, right? Like, we can't get any ground. Any little thing that there is breakable. Well, dear viewer, you don't actually have to beat this lady. Also, that was kind of insane. The jump over, the dodges. Okay, well, I'm kind of cooking. Anyways, yeah, this is a fully optional boss. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that at first. But you can actually just walk around, and there's a little wind jump area for Cornet that you can take. And then, yeah, that just skips the boss. You don't need a killer for any story element to complete the game. So, as far as I'm aware, you can just leave this lady to chill. However, she did kind of hit me, which is kind of like illegal. You can't hit my boy Mario. So yeah, screw you. So with the lady who insulted Mario's feelings being defeated, he now sets his eyes on the great castle ahead of him. Which might just be the end of the run. I don't know. I have not really thought about the arenas, and I have not pre-recorded this, so I am testing it out as I record. And, well, we can kind of see our next thing that we have to face. which is none other than the golden hippopotamus. Now this is where I am kind of scared, because this arena has quite a lot of breakable objects. Basically meaning most of everything in this arena is breakable. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to get much height, actually. Now, some possibilities that I am thinking of are these spear things on the wall here. That could possibly be something. However, the golden hippopotamus does really enjoy breaking them. And from what I can tell, we cannot actually get up there. So after jumping around to see if we can get some sort of bug, we actually can. So I don't know really how to really replicate that too much, but I think we just kind of like jumped into them, got clipped inside, and then the game tried to force us out, but they actually forced us out above him, which ended up dealing damage. So yeah, with that, as you can see on the health bar, we did 3 damage. That means that this boss is fully possible, which is really good. I did not want to keep trying to get on top of those spears to see if that's enough height. He did also insult my feelings. So, you know, I'm just gonna quickly, yeah, give him a little jump. So far, this is going much better than the base game, where we have now beaten 2 base game bosses in a row with only jumping. And we are almost actually halfway through the game. However, in a real run by lesser YouTubers, if they ever do it, they would have to actually level up their character. For their Mario would never be as good as my Mario. So, yeah, they wouldn't be very immortal. Now, luckily, that's not my issue, so if anyone tries this run, well, figure it out yourself. Anyways, after being brutally assaulted as we're running through this castle, yes, this is fine. We make our way up to the next challenge of this run, which is none other than children. Just kidding, I jumped on all of their heads. Now, after all of that, we finally reach the main challenge, which is none other than Mesmer. Oh yeah, and also, this guy, who, I don't know who he thinks he is. But now it's finally time for the man, the myth, the legend. Oh dear. Yeah, so right away, I mean, we don't got a lot to work with, okay? There's nothing really that speaks out as jump on to gain extra height. Other than one thing, which is, kinda dangerous. Yeah, we might just have to jump on the ledge. That's breakable. Those are breakable. We cannot really get on the curtain too much. Well, we can gain like a little bit of extra height. Here, let's run against this wall for like 10 minutes to see if it does anything.
One eternity later.
Oh, we might have gotten something here, boys. We can kind of jump on this curtain a little bit, as you can see there, where we can actually gain an extra jump. Oh wait, I just did 5 damage to him somehow. I was like stuck against the corner or something. Like when I fell down there. Okay, well, I don't know if I'll be able to replicate that. Okay, well, I just got grabbed out of the air. At least that does mean it's possible, though. So with that being said, yeah, let's just jump on them. And second phase should have roughly the same model. It'll actually probably be easier, just because you can also jump on the snakes. So anyways, with that man defeated, we really do not have too many bosses left to go. And with that, we make our way to the next area. None other than the random green area that looks like there's a lot of places to go, but there's actually only like one path. You know what I'm talking about. Alright, so this place is pretty straightforward. I do not remember there being any bosses that you actually had to beat to get to the final boss. Okay, he found a pipe and he just went into it. Oh wow, look where we came out. It's the final boss of this area. No way. And it's weird lady with a lot of tentacles. Okay. Well, right away, because my brain is not very large, I don't even look around in the arena. No, I just run straight into the boss. However, this might be smart, because I'm noticing the same thing with the golden hippopotamus. Which is, this boss has some a little bit janky models, where I might actually be able to glitch onto them. As you can see, when I'm like jumping into her, my character kind of like staggers a little bit. Because that's because the jump is actually getting caught on her, which does not reset the jump time, meaning I'm still technically in the air. So if I manage to like somehow clip inside of her, or like get stuck on one of these arms or tentacle things, I might actually be able to do damage. The only difficult thing about this though is some of her attacks, it counts the entire tentacle as an arm, so you actually go through her. However, I just did 2 damage there, which means it is possible to kill them. So yeah, it seems like my theory is correct. You can just kind of jump into them and clip. What I will test out though is to see if there are some things that we can jump on to actually gain some extra height. I'm guessing all of these are also breakable. Seem pretty big. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so all the eggs are breakable. Oh, I just did another 2 damage. That might be the strat though, because you can kind of get stuck in this wall, and then also if she's standing right there, you can get stuck on her in another. Okay, that I just hit her 2 times. I hit her again. Okay, look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have found the strat to beat this boss if someone ever tries this run. And it's just to stand in this wall and keep jumping while she's next to you. Now, I don't know how you're gonna survive. But yeah, that's your problem, not mine. So, this boss is possible. And all these bosses are really hurting my feelings. So, I think I'm gonna do a really big jump. Yeah, take that, lady. And with that, there is only one boss to go. This is going much better. Much better than the base game. Where I might honestly have to go back into it to see if there are any other possible solutions to deal damage to these bosses. Now, as I have shown time and time again, these legacy dungeons are super easy, okay? Mario, he can really just run past everyone. This man has some super speed. So here we are. The final boss of this entire game.
Bowser, I have come here to destroy you.
Oh, Mario, please save me.
Alright, well, let's see if we can actually do any damage to this man. Well, there really is not a ton of stuff in this arena. Like, the only thing that I can really see is some little ridges that could possibly gain like a little bit of height. Now, unlucky for us, it seems like Radon does not really have a super janky hitbox, meaning I don't think we'll just be able to deal damage if we run towards them. Because yeah, I'm not really getting clipped or stuck into this main. Alright, so let's go and try and see if there's anything that we can gain some height with. Well, it doesn't seem like we can actually get up there. Well, let's go run to the other side. Or actually, this looks kind of like a ledge. Hold up. Wait. We might have something here. This is very definitely climbable to a degree. Well, I managed to do it for like a second. Okay, there we go. Would that be enough height, though? Or Mario just punched those rocks out of the sky. Okay, we're back up here, and I just fell off again. Okay, well, Super Poise is doing something for this man. Okay, here's my thought. Oh wait, 1 damage, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This boss is possible. If you jump at this precise place, manage to land on his head and like sorta stay there for like a quick second, you can do 1 damage. Do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? This means that you can beat Elden Ring's DLC by only jumping without any major glitches. So I can finally rescue Peach.
Yay! Thank you, Mario!
Well, thank you guys for sticking to the end of this video. Sadly, I don't know if this is possible by humans. However, this is definitely possible by computers. But if you want to send this video to someone or some person who hates themselves to try and do this challenge, go right ahead. Will I ever attempt this challenge? Probably not. Like, this seems almost near impossible. However, I might eventually, if given enough money. Anyways, thanks again for sticking to the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back for another video.